Hey CPC fans, it's your friend Choice CJ here, and I am back with you guys again this week for another installment in our MVP series. We've had a couple of really cool installments to kick off this season, going with the Mega Pidgeot in week 1, getting a bunch of kills, doing tremendous damage with Hurricane and Heat Wave. Week number 2, we went with the Mega Beedrill, setting up the Toxic Spikes, putting a lot of pressure on his opponent throughout the entire game. His opponent clearly was never able to get comfortable. And now we have a lot of really great contenders this week. I want to highlight just a few. Nidoking, who made an appearance as an honorable mention in week 1, came back again this week with another 4 kills and really putting a lot of pressure on the Brisbane Breylooms, doing a lot of good work for the dude for Drapions. Definitely a good mon. Bulky Charizard X, I thought did really well for the Connecticut Crocodiles, taking those high jump kicks like a champ from the opposing Mega Lopunny. I don't know if it was necessarily bulky, but I don't think Charizard usually takes high jump kicks that well. It did like 45% damage. I think it usually does like 55 or 60%. So I had to have at least a little bit of bulk, so that's nice. Nasty Plot Azelf did really well. Got a nice kill on a Scizor with a Fire Blast, was able to set up a +2 on a Clefable and proceeded to clean up shop. Very impressive showing. And I do want to give a special shout out to the combination of Power Up Punch, Baton Pass, Mega Medicham with Shiftry. Mega Medicham was able to set up a substitute, get a +1, Baton Pass into the Shiftry, and the Shiftry was able to skillfully dodge a bunch of moves, a Fire Blast for the win, scored a nice critical hit on a Tornadus T. Crit probably didn't matter, but it just sort of rubbed salt in the wound. So it was a very cool win for Matty Brawlick and the St. Louis Reshiram. So I did want to point out all of those Pokemons as honorable mentions. But I don't think there is really any dispute this week as to who the MVP was. And that is Reuniclus of the Sydney Sharpedos, belonging to our good old pal Gypsy King. Now, Gypsy King brought a defensive Reuniclus this week. So it's kind of funny to think about a defensive Reuniclus being in the discussion for the MVP, especially when you think of the sort of offensive sets that Reuniclus can run. It can run Trick Room. The defensive Calm Mind Sense are very popular. But Gypsy King was rocking a set of Recover, Thunder Wave, Psychic, and Hidden Power Fighting. And it did amazingly well. Reuniclus first came in on turn 7. It came in on a Ditto. It had been transformed into a Quagsire. The Sydney Sharpedos make a really good prediction and go for a Thunder Wave on an incoming Tyranitar. We're able to hit it up with a Hidden Power Fighting as the Tyranitar goes for Pursuit. Funny enough, the Pursuit actually got a crit, but it still only did like 20% damage thanks to the Colbur Berry on the Reuniclus. So the Tyranitar switches out to a Gliscor. The Reuniclus just sits in here from turn 7 all the way to turn 21. It stays in for 14 turns. And in the meantime, it's able to take out a Ditto that transforms into the Reuniclus. And a few turns afterwards, the Tyranitar comes back in. And the Reuniclus has taken a couple little chip shots here and there, like a U-turn from an Ambipom and things like that. But the T-Tar comes back in, takes Rock's damage, and there's no way it's going to be living a Hidden Power Fighting after that. And truthfully, I think that this Reuniclus would have just 6-0'd at this point, if not for this defense drop from the Stoutland. That was a real difference maker. Later on, after the Scizor gets a Bullet Punch kill on the Ambipom, Gliscor comes back in, which just invites in the Reuniclus. Reuniclus is able to go for the Psychic, kill the Gliscor, heal itself up on the following turn, and it stays in from turn 27 until turn 36 and cleans up the game. So the Reuniclus ends up getting 5 kills, stays in for literally like 25 out of 36 turns of this game. So shoutouts to Gypsy King for identifying that defensive Reuniclus was such a dangerous Pokemon in this matchup. We look at the roster of the Melodics here, and it's kind of tough to see what Pokemon actually deal with this set. The Melodics do have like an Aromatisse that can maybe take it on, but I think in the long run, the Reuniclus does beat that. And if not, you know, Gypsy King had a Mega Scizor and Drapion to take on that Aromatisse, so that wasn't even really a threat. That's going to be it for the weekly MVP this week. Hope you guys enjoyed. We will be coming back at the same time next week with the Week 4 results. Shoutouts to everybody who got an honorable mention, and of course, shout out to Gypsy King, the Sydney Sharpedos, and their All-Star Reuniclus. Make sure you go sub to him and to all the other coaches in the CPC, as well as to the CPC channel in order to catch more of these analyst videos. This is your friend Choice CJ, and until the next time, I will see you guys later.